Terraria is a 2D pixel sandbox game released on May 16, 2011 by indie game development and publishing company Re-Logic. The game revolves around the player exploring the world and gathering materials and equipment to battle and conquer the mightiest foes in order to save Terraria from evil. Greetings everyone! This video will critically analyze the video game Terraria through the use of the topics Ludology and culture as a lens for this analysis. Terraria is an open-ended sandbox game, vaguely reflecting reality as the player explores a procedurally generated world. This depth and freedom indicates Terraria's use of pervasive ludology. The game is not restricted to one playstyle, meaning Terraria can be played in a variety of ways. Exploration. The player has full access to their surroundings as they mine and gather materials to craft equipment. Combat. The player fights a variety of enemies and bosses, giving them a sense of competence and accomplishment. Creation. The player can actively build and destroy terrain as they please, clearly utilizing space as the player has full control over the environment. Furthermore, Terraria, unlike most games, provides a class system which is highly flexible, encouraging autonomy in the player's choices as they mix and match different accessories and armor to better suit their playstyle. The ability for the game to give the player a choice on how they would like to play depending on their interests increases intrinsic motivation. This is the driving force that keeps the player motivated to play, as they do what they inherently want to do. Despite being an open-ended sandbox game, Terraria keeps the player curious and engaged through the use of progression locks. This is, in essence, preventing the player from accessing content until they have completed a certain goal. This serves as the extrinsic aspect, where the player's motivation is controlled by the game. An example of this is the dungeon, where if the player continues downwards to explore, a dungeon guardian spawns and kills them instantly, preventing any further exploration. However, if the player at night summons and defeats the boss Skeletron, the dungeon guardian would no longer spawn and attempt to stop the player. Another example would be access to more content past hard mode, which can only be attained after the defeat of the Wall of Flesh in the underworld. After such, the hollowed biome and many new enemies would be unlocked, granting the player access to more weapons, armor, and accessories. All these pertain to the mutability of the game, where the game controls the player's behavior through the use of rewards. Terraria represents the Cthulhu mythos created by H.P. Lovecraft and incorporates it into the game's story and design. Lovecraft's depiction of monsters has been influenced by the idea, fear of the unknown, rendering these monsters strange in appearance. Many character designs in Terraria fit this description, including some being direct references to Cthulhu. The Eye of Cthulhu, the Eater of Worlds, the Brain of Cthulhu, the Wall of Flesh, and many more enemies. Consequently, the game introduces evil biomes, the Corruption and Crimson, which slowly engulf the world. This instills a sense of heroism in the player as they battle these evils and save Terraria. The presence of these entities makes the game feel alive and immerses the player, placing them in a position where life matters and making them feel as if they themselves were in Terraria to save the world from destined doom. The Terraria development team localizes the game, keeping the same gameplay experience while adjusting it to fit the cultural and political requirements of a territory to help reach a wider audience. This is evident in the Chinese version of the game, where various resprites of Terraria's character designs were applied to comply with the regulations regarding blood and violence in China. These changes include a variety of bosses, which all previously showed visible blood or gore in their original designs. Additionally, when enemies are defeated, a poof of smoke replaced the blood and gore generated. In the Japanese version of Terraria, exclusive content such as the vanity sets Monokuma and Shiren were added by the Japanese publisher of Terraria, Spike Chunsoft. The Monokuma set was used as a replacement for the Hero vanity set, which might have caused copyright issues if kept in the game at the time. Terraria's development team, Re-Logic, interacts with the game's community through a variety of means, consequently providing long-term sustenance for the game. Furthermore, the modding community plays a great role in the sustainability of the game, as they continue to add optional content past the vanilla version. Mods for Terraria have been officially supported by Re-Logic, and the dedicated mod launcher, Tmod Loader, was included as DLC content for the game in the Steam App Store. A year later, the game won the Labor of Love Award, during the 2021 Steam Awards event, clearly showing the love and support given by fans around the world. Additionally, several YouTube content creators have created Let's Plays, showcases, and building tutorials, which contributed to the positive increase in familiarity of the game. It is clear that Terraria is a game that grants the player autonomy whilst keeping them curious as they progress further in the game. The developers of Terraria also effectively interact with the communities, fostering sustainability for the game. These impacts make Terraria what it is today, a game loved by its community, and hopefully you, too, can grow an appreciation for the love and effort the developers have put into creating Terraria. Thank you for listening, and have a wonderful day.